Recognize a verbally abusive man. In the past, people focused only on physical abuse. But while physical abuse is indeed a very serious problem, other types of abuse also need to be addressed. One of these is verbal abuse. Just as in physical abuse, verbal abuse can do much social and emotional damage on a woman. It can cause a woman to feel paranoid, scared, betrayed, hurt, and unimportant. If you want to avoid a relationship with a verbally abusive man, you need to be able to recognize who he is. Here are some steps to help you. Family background. First of all, you need to inquire about his family background. People who come from loving families and who have a good relationship with their families are usually the least likely to be verbally abusive. Instead, you should be on the lookout for people who come from families who are abusive or who have neglected them. Most people who are verbally abusive are only repeating the patterns that have been shown them while they were growing up. If they dislike their childhood experiences, chances are that they may be verbally abusive. Prisoner. Next, you should also check to see whether the man attempts to make you a prisoner. In other words, the man tries to restrict your movement and tries to cut off your connections and relationships with other people. Men who are very possessive are usually afraid that they will lose someone and thus try to restrict the movement of the people that they are in a relationship with. A healthy relationship, however, does not mean that you need to spend all of your waking hours with only one person. Always right. Next, look at how the man accepts criticism and feedback. People who cannot accept criticism and always feel that they are in the right are usually prone to becoming verbally violent. If they feel that they are being attacked, they may lash out with very harsh words in order to establish their dominance. You need to avoid these type of men. Men who cannot accept criticism will usually use words against you. Disrespect. Next, look at how he treats women in general. Men who treat women with little respect and little love tend to be very violent and verbally abusive precisely because they do not value women. If a man thinks that women are inferior, then he is likely to be verbally abusive. Usually, this also applies to men who think that their mothers, sisters, or past girlfriends are not worthy of respect. Change. Finally, you should consider asking the man about what he thinks about therapy, counseling, and treatment. If the person refuses to accept his problems and will not face it with proper treatment, then you should get out of the relationship very fast. These types of men will not evolve and will not change for the better. You will only end up in a cycle of verbal violence and pain. With these in mind, you should be able to recognize whether a man is verbally abusive or not. Once you have recognized an incorrigibly verbally abusive man, you should leave the relationship fast.